Welcome to expertsaw.com show where we're talking about the Bosch 1590 EVSK 6.4 amp top handle jigsaw. A jigsaw is a device utilized for cutting subjective bends, for example, applied plans, either required shapes, into a bit of timber, alloy, or other elements. It very well may be utilized in a more masterful manner than different saws, which commonly cut in linear lines as it were. Along these lines, it is like the grate and the etch. Albeit a jigsaw can be utilized to reduce self-assertive examples, making a straight cut freehand is troublesome even with a guide. Customary puzzles are manual saws, comprising of a handle appended to a little, and a slight edge. The first jigsaw baffles were made utilizing this sort of unpowered saw. Increasingly current jigsaws are control instruments, prepared from an electric engine, and a responding saw sharp edge. A puzzle along a slanted work on the only platter enables slicing points of ordinarily dependent upon 40 degrees comparative with the normal perpendicular hit for callus miter links. Before, whatever the currently as a rule called scroll, these were often referred to as jigsaws. The jigsaw has advanced for the better throughout the years. It's presently healthy for users to be structured with a scope of supportive highlights that enable the client's work a lot simpler. A few instances of improved highlights are low vibration engines, speed control, dust blower, customizable base for slanted cutting, alterable sharp edge plot for better bend control, LED, and now they are accessible as truly proficient cordless instruments. A most amazing aspect regarding this jigsaw is the counter-vibration plan that enables efforts along with for lengthy spans much less strenuous than expected. In addition to it helps you to get a superior completion and a spotless line, and on the off chance that you are chipping away at huge employments that expect you to invest extensive stretches of energy, cutting it is a major in addition to. With its huge and strong metal base, it floats easily over the work surface and encourages you to keep decisively at stake unfailingly. Most jigsaws will cut up to 2 creeps of significance in cabinetmaker applications, and randomly half-inch on foil. A couple of jigsaws may feature a to some degree progressively significant cut, yet this isn't generally appealing on a jigsaw, as the more significant the movement, the better the chance of the front line bowing and breaking. This will impact performance and how deep you will be able to cut materials. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of time even if you're operating on your venture in the area and the moments pass by. The hours could really add up with a heavy jigsaw and you're going to start feeling a lot more tired than with a simpler saw. While a jigsaw instrument's most grounded suit will always be cutting curves and complex shapes, their versatility chooses them an ideal choice for DIY beginners planning to finish an incredible arrangement, a single power saw. The central matter to consider when picking a jigsaw is the sum you will use it. With solid decisions available at reasonable costs, it doesn't look good for rare customers to buy an awesome quality gadget. Then again, in case you love carpentry or want to do a huge amount of DIY consistently, a magnificent jigsaw could be an unfathomable endeavor. Differing sharp edge properties produce different outcomes. For instance, long edges will by and large be better at cutting thicker materials, while short edges will as a rule cut even more exactly. Persistently check the sharp edge packaging for heading before you buy. Right when we consider control instruments, all we consider is Bosch. That is the explanation they have decided to give us an outstandingly stunning resource, the Bosch 1590 EVSK model with a 6.4 amp controlled motor to ensure incredible cleanability. This device is likely the best mechanical assembly work by this association for people who recognize high gauge and most extraordinary obvious aptitude. Most specialists, and DIY authoritative laborers need that cutting-edge instrument style, and Bosch have come to answer their supplications. Notwithstanding the way that this gadget is being used by property holders and standard individuals, it is for the most part worked for the work environment, and it won't let you down, paying little heed to the present errand. Bosch's jigsaw emanates power, robustness, and precision. The solid cast aluminium footplate and mechanical arrangement can withstand the hardest work environment conditions, including a drop that causes the instrument to land on a footplate arm. Bosch 1590EVSK saw is a mind-blowing extra to any kind of workshop and collecting unit, as it has been using first choice to scratch variety of materials. Cutting materials can be performed reliably with similarly dissipated saw load. Along these lines, it has become a remarkable gadget for every worker to cut extraordinary or twisted shapes. The bleeding edge has extra/different support, to keep it progressively invigorated, to cut straighter. These look like the associates on a band saw, and I've heard reviews that state it is the enormously improved model when using the longest jigsaw sharp edges. The speed of the saw varies depending upon what material you are etching. The smoother the material, the speed requires to draw ends up being less, and wherein if the material is thick it requires extraordinary speed to etch. Around the beginning when the machine is turned on, should believe that couple of minutes will settle the speed. At the point when article is checked and speed is set, object that must be scratched must be empowered into the machine. This Bosch flexible band saw machine is helpful and can be worked with one hand.